we're back. Jenny's here. We're going to learn a little bit more about her story.
Sweater weather. Sweater weather.
I love that candle.
I do too. It's so good.
I know. It's funny. We love this candle sweater weather. We did a promotion for Bath and Body.
You did?
Well, right now.
Oh,
but
yeah.
Also,
Sweater
you know
weather,
what?
Bath and Body.
We will do a little commercial here because Jenny and I are sitting in the Gratitude Boutique in the back in what they call the Man's Cave. And our friend Lisa Olson, our husband Steve, have been very generous to allow us to use this place. And they are delightful people, and they have a beautiful shop. So we're going to do a big plug for them because they need one. They deserve it. And we appreciate them letting us use their place.
We do.
And I'm even wearing the jeans that Steve made me buy, that I love and wear all the time. So there's a little commercial. All right, Jenny, we're going to get on a heavier topic now.
Okay, I'm ready. Bring it on,
the big
sister.
topic of grief.
Okay.
So, you know, you've got a bubbly attitude. You bring a light into the room when you enter. A lot of people really like to invite Jenny to the party because she's going to make it more fun. But you didn't get here by not going through some hard things. So let's jump into that a minute. So we're going to talk about grief, and you've met grief many different times. So I'm going to let you start where you want to start with that.
Okay.
What would you like to tell us about how you've experienced grief?
I've had a lot of grief, Lisa. I mean, you know, friends dying. My parents have both passed away. But I think the one that touched me the most, the hardest, was when my son was 3 or 2. My husband was diagnosed with melanoma. And at that time, there was nothing they could do for it. It was all like testing, you know, we're going to try this and we'll try this chemo, but nothing has been able to cure the melanoma. So fast forward, he was supposed to live for 6 months. He lived for 18 months, but yet he ended up passing away when my son was 3. So I was 37, and he was 40. So pretty young.
Yeah.
For that to happen. I think we were the first ones in our whole community that had lost somebody that young, you know, so.
Grief is hard. What do you remember as being extremely hard?
You know, with all cancer, the hardest part is waiting for the results of the test, finding out. I remember walking out on my front porch. The doctor called and said that the cancer had moved to his brain. And I mean, what do you do with that? What do you do with that? My husband was working at this time, and they called me and told me that. And I'm like, what does this mean, right? And it went over the blood barrier, so it was all over his brain. So
was he functioning normally at that time? Was that a surprise?
He was working part-time.
He was working part-time.
And he worked for a private company at the time, and his boss, the owner, knew exactly what was going on and said, whatever you want to do, you know, you just do whatever you want to do. And we both thought it would be great if he could keep working as long as he could, just to keep his mind off of it, right? But the minute he would come home, and I went out and he loved the Colts, and so I went out and bought a blue recliner, and I did not like this recliner. It was one of those big leather, lazy boy. But I bought it for him, but he would come home every day and sleep in it for 4 hours, right from work, you know.
Yeah.
So, and that was hard. When you have a 3-year-old wanting to see daddy,
Yeah.
and he would come home from work every day and just collapse. It was hard. And we didn't know we didn't know. We didn't know what to expect.
So, are you telling me that you had to live basically 18 months, like, to live like you were dying? Like, you pretty much knew this was going to take his life.
Yeah.
You knew it was limited. Wow, that's a hard.
Yeah, it was hard. But it gave us 18 months of loving each other and 18 months to prepare. He got all of every document. He was super anal about stuff, so he got everything together in every file for me. And he was amazing. He was able to get all that, so it wasn't like, hello, here are all my bills,
right.
So, but yeah,
Can you share a situation of what loving him looked like during that time? Like, can you think of something that you did maybe as a family, or that you can remember that might be special?
I did take him out on his birthday in May. Mind you, he died in August. So I took him out on his birthday in May, and we went downtown and had dinner. And I think we had one drink, and we were both pretty big drinkers back then. But we both had one drink and then went to our room and went to bed. That was a big night, that was a huge night.
Yeah.
And it was hard for him, but he did it anyway because I surprised him.
Oh, nice.
So, yeah. Yeah.
It's a hard thing to do something like that.
It was hard.
It's like the clouds kind of.
Because I knew this would be his last night, that he would go downtown.
Yeah.
Because he was starting to get really ill.
Yeah. Tell us something great about Gary.
Oh my gosh. There's a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot. He was a friend of mine's brother. And he called me when I came out of school, and I was home from IU, and he just says, hey, you want to go out? And so we just started dating, and he was so much fun. He was the light of the party. He would walk in and people would go, Gary,
Yeah.
So, heart of gold.
Yeah.
Heart of gold.
Fabulous. All right. Do you have anything more that you would like to say about that?
I don't think so. I grieved so much while he was sick, because I knew nothing was going to make him better. And there were times when he would just be on the couch all the time, and I'm playing with our 3-year-old, right, or 2.5-year-old. Taught him how to ride a bike at 2.5, so his daddy could see him ride a bike. And it was hard. It really was hard. So when he finally died, I think I told you earlier that it was almost a blessing, because I had grieved so much that finally my grief it didn't stop, but it changed. My grief changed to poor pitiful me, and poor pitiful him, but thank you, God. And my grief, it just changed. And
Fabulous. And then you had another grief following that.
I did. My dad and my parents were there for me after Gary died, as well as Gary's family, as well as my family and friends. They supported me. I had the church. They were amazing. But my dad, we used to go over to my parents' house, and my dad would just run up to Will and just grab him and hug him and love him. Will was 3.5, I think, at that time. But My dad died instantly one morning, and 6 months later, after Gary died, and it was like another person dying. So thank God for medication because I needed it. I was struggling.
Yeah.
I was struggling.
Rightly so.
So, and your dad is your dad.
Yeah.
So it was pretty tough.
Yeah.
It was pretty tough.
Yeah, that's terrible.
So, I had my husband who was with me for 18 months, and then I had my dad die instantly. So I had two different ways of people dying with me, and they were both hard.
Yeah.
Both very hard.
Yeah, and it's hard to compare those different kinds
Oh,
of...
it is.
You really can't. So
No.
There's a part of me that's trying to come up with a question to dig into more of that, but it's like you can't, they're different. One's your husband, one's your dad, one's long suffering, the other's quick and instant, and both of them suck.
It was awful. But both of them were shocking. The only thing I can think of though is it brought us all together. It's funny how that works, when somebody dies. And it does the same thing when somebody gets married or somebody has a baby, right?
Yeah.
I mean, those big events just bring people together.
Yeah.
It brought my family closer together.
That's fantastic.
So, yeah, I mean, it's been really good.
I think that's something we should strive for and
Yeah.
look for when we are all facing that horrific space that nobody wants to deal with, but we have to because it's life. Maybe look for the opportunity to come closer together.
Yeah.
And maybe in that unity, it just helps.
When I think too, Lisa, my family, we talk about everything. We don't hide our feelings. Even now we're on a text strand about how great IU's doing.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about everything, and I think that has helped us stay closer, I mean, my brothers, they didn't tell me this till after he died, but they asked Gary what sport they wanted our son to play. And Gary goes, well, I think he's going to be a big kid, but don't tell Jenny this. I kind of want him to play hockey.
Interesting.
And they didn't tell me this. After he died, they told me this. So...
Why do you think he thought you wouldn't like that?
Because we would go to the hockey games, the racers or whatever they were. And I'm like, they didn't have teeth, and they were not pretty, and it's expensive, right?
Yeah. And did Will play hockey?
He sure did.
And how far tell us about his hockey career. Gary knew what he's...
Yes,
Yeah.
He did play all the way to college.
Yeah.
So, yes,
Yeah.
He did play hockey. So his dad is up there in heaven just smiling bright at him.
Yeah. Pretty successful kid in that realm, too.
Mm-hmm.
Good for him. That's pretty cool.
Isn't that cool?
Neat. That's neat to hear about that. And then, so did your brothers then help? Like, what was their role in?
Well, they didn't help with hockey, for God's sake.
They didn't drive him to all the practices and pay all the bills and stuff?
No.
Okay.
But no, they helped him. I mean, they would come over all the time and play basketball with them or play baseball with them, and it was just every day somebody would come over and play. And plus we had a whole load of little ones in our neighborhood, and everybody knew what was going on.
And so did Will play all the sports when he was a kid?
Oh,
Decided
yeah.
hockey was the one?
Oh yeah, he played football, he played baseball, he tried karate, couldn't do that. He couldn't be a swimmer. He was pretty...
Why would you do it at Carmel anyway?
Yeah. He was a pretty big kid, so but he did play baseball and football and hockey. So
Nice.
yeah.
That's a great story.
Yeah. It's good.
Super fun. Anything else you want to say about your dad or anything in that time?
Not really. I keep thinking about how, grief just was always there when he was alive. It was just always there. And after he died, it was so hard. But I knew that he would want me to go on. And my dad too. My dad did not want me to grieve about my husband. And he wanted me to be his little Jenny again. He would always say that. I want you to be my little Jenny again. So after my dad died too, I knew I just had to go on. And I had to go on for my son. I wanted him to know that, we suffer, but then we can get through it.
Yeah.
And we did. It wasn't always pretty, though.
It's not how the song starts.
No.
It's not about the middle. It's how.
Well, and the
what
question,
comes up,
I'll never forget, we were coming home from junior kindergarten, and Will asked me if his dad was going to McDonald's today up in heaven.
Mm.
And I said, why do you say that? He goes, because I want to go to McDonald's. But he wanted his dad to go too.
Oh, even if they couldn't do
They
it
couldn't
together,
see
but
together.
They could,
He wanted his dad to
so
go.
Sweet.
He wanted his dad to enjoy chicken nuggets up in
Yes,
heaven.
his dad did go enjoy chicken nuggets.
So yeah, I thought that was sweet.
That's so sweet.
Yeah.
I'm going to say he was, because I'm a dreamer.
I know. So, it was
That's
one of
so
those
sweet.
moments,
Yeah.
Oh.
I bet you had a few of those.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, a lot of those moments.
Yeah.
A
Those are
lot of
treasures.
those moments that I just think back and go, oh my gosh. And, sadly, my son doesn't really remember his dad because he was too little.
He was too little.
But he sees pictures and he goes, I remember sitting in that big blue chair with Dad. I'm like,
Yes.
that was
Yeah.
such a pretty chair.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, and Gary's memory moves on through you and others that are telling Will about it. And
Yeah.
he's still present with them.
He is.
And then there's another heart grief that hit your family as well. We can talk about that for a minute.
Which one was that?
Is there something I don't know? Because there's a pretty big one. And
I have several grief issues, but no. This one hit really hard.
Yeah.
This one was really heavy.
Maybe more tragic.
It was, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So, my bonus daughter called us at 6:30 a.m., which is a little earlier than what she usually calls. But she called her dad and said, we lost Mom. And my husband's like, what? And she goes, Mom and Rick died in an airplane in Florida. And they were flying out with 2 other people in a little private little propeller jet or whatever. And they missed the turn and the wingtip hit the water and the whole plane blew up. So I have 2 bonus daughters and a bonus son. And I just called her back and said, I'm on my way. Because she had, the twins were not 1 yet. They were turning 1 like the next month. So I didn't even know what to expect, Lisa. Can you imagine? It was unbelievable. So shocking.
Yeah.
These kids lost their mind. And, looking back at like when Will lost his dad, he didn't know. He's like, Daddy died? And I said, yeah. And he goes, okay, can I have some juice? You know, that's how his brain, he couldn't process it. He didn't know any better. But then here these grown children lose their mother and their stepdad. It was awful. And for a while they couldn't find the mom, but they found her inside the cartilage in the plane. She was strapped in her chair. So it was pretty tough for their family, as for us too.
Yeah.
You know, our poor kids went through hell and back with that. Just trying to deal with the estate, trying to deal with they had step siblings. The mother and father both had their own businesses. They did not have wills, so please make sure your will is current and up to date.
Okay. Yeah.
So it's been tough.
Yeah.
And they all handled it great. You know, they've had a lot of moments, but with something like that, it hits you out of the blue, and you just, it's just tough.
You just kind of even go on autopilot a little bit. And
Yeah.
Just like foggily go through your days. There's so much coming at you, so many decisions and so many emotions, and just.
Oh yeah, well she was a cheer coach for a gym, so she knew tons of people, and everybody knew in the community. I mean, it was even on the news, you know, that, I mean, it just was awful, just awful. But the kids are doing good now. We talk about it all the time. We talk about mom. We talk about their stepdad because he was a character. The twins are 3 now, and you know, they say Grandma's with Jeezy, and Jeezy is Jesus.
Yeah.
Grandma's with Jeezy,
Aww.
and Bad Kitty. Bad Kitty
Did
was.
Bad Kitty pass?
Bad Kitty's passed.
Okay.
Thank God. Bad Kitty's passed. The Bad Kitty is now Good Kitty.
Yeah.
Because she's in heaven now.
Yeah.
With Grandma.
Yeah.
But it's just been wow.
Do you feel like there was something that you pulled up when you went through what you went through with Gary, that you pulled up that you could to use in a situation where you're being asked to grieve alongside some adult girls who are grieving their mother? Is there anything that you can pull up from that, or?
You know, the only thing I can think of is like, your mom would have wanted this, your mom would have liked this, your mom, you know, when they were planning for her funeral, your mom would have, you know, we would talk about their mom. And I think communication is the key, Lisa. And I know we've talked about that before, but
I agree.
I mean, putting it under the rug and not dealing with it, you can't. You have to talk about it. Mom's gone. I mean, she's gone, but we're going to lift her up, and she's going to be in our conversations a lot, and she is. You know, I mean, just the other day, Annie was making chicken and noodles, and my husband hates that. I mean, he hates chicken and noodles. He calls it, he just doesn't like it. And Annie goes, it's because that's my mom's favorite dinner. You know? But so I said, well, your mom is so happy you're making it, you know?
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm always saying things like that just to keep her alive and to keep her happy in our hearts.
Yeah.
You know, I know she's gone, but she's still here. She's still around her. She's still around us.
Yes.
I can't like dwell on the accident so much.
Right.
I mean, we did that grief,
Yeah.
We've cried.
Yeah.
And, now we're on to our next life or next
Yeah.
thing in life. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And are the girls, have they worked that through, do you feel? Do they might need a little more time?
Yeah,
Or,
I think one of them has adjusted better than the other.
Yeah.
But it's also a maturity thing too.
And there's variables. There's personalities. There's so many variables that can come into play that when we do lose somebody like that, that's why they say don't go to bed mad, because if something like that enters into the scene, or maybe the last conversation they had wasn't a great one, it's like you think about that, and they don't think about it because they're whole, they're healed.
Yeah.
But we do. We're like, oh, I wish I would have had a better conversation there, or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's just a lot that can
But
happen.
again, it's brought the siblings, the kids are all close. And they were close before.
Yeah.
But now they deal with each other's, insecurities a little better now. But it was tough.
I think sometimes those griefs, the fire of it, the intensity, it can separate families. But if it unites them, it's like they really get bonded.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like an unbreakable
Oh,
bond as to how you manage that grief and what you do with it.
Mm-hmm.
And you become richer, it becomes a richer relationship due to the fact that you've lost somebody that you love and you're both grieving at the same time. If you come together in it.
And I think that's what happens with some families is maybe somebody is grieving differently than the other, but the other thinks you should grieve like I do, and the other sibling, oh, it's okay type of thing, or shake out of it. Everybody deals with it differently, and if you can't understand that, then that's when they're going to have problems. Because honestly, Lisa, when I'm going through a death, and that's horrible to say, but I always talk about it. And try to get everybody to understand what I'm feeling, so they get it, so they know I'm okay.
Yeah.
I
think verbalization, and again, some people might be private grievers. We've got to give them that room, to grieve privately, but I'm also an external griever.
Oh, I am too.
I think that we got to give permission for people to grieve the way they need to grieve.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
And I think time, there's no time.
Yeah.
It could be 3 months, it could be 2 years. It could take time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you can't hold it in.
No. Yeah.
You have to be able to talk about it to somebody, I think.
Yes. And you can choose.
Yeah.
Talk to one person about it, or if anybody will listen to you, and you're having a day and a stranger talks to you in Walmart, okay, just spill it out to them. If you
could write a book or a podcast.
Or you could do a book or a podcast. Yeah, that's great.
Cheers.
Nice.